Alright. What's up, everybody, and welcome back. Up here in the top right side, it's Team Liquid's Clem. Hot damn, man. In the bottom left, we've got Storm G's Showtime. That's right, representing Stormgate and Big Esports, which is a very funny phrase. Big Esports really does sound like Big Pharma or big weapons arms manufacturing. And oh my lord, that is so close! Clem! Has absolutely no chill. If this probe goes down here, it's a cancel on the barracks, but just a gate scout for Showtime. And Clem is going to try and punish Showtime. Showtime is so good at opening up Oracle macro. Oracle in a 3-gate, dude. It's wild. It is absolutely wild. Anyways, the gases there are going to be coming up. We don't have any music. It's a very good point. Gang, thank you. And now we have music. And straight back into the action with no delay. Sorry for the slight production hiccup there, guys. There we go. StarCraft music coming in right now. Probe comes in. He sees he's being proxied. He's checking to make sure it's not just hidden in the side of the base. And that looks like Showtime is going to go Cybercore before Nexus to try and help himself out here. That Reaper's already starting at a minute 27. Very early. No safety zealot just left yet for Showtime. Is he going to bother with one? He needs to start it pretty much right now if he wants to build a safety zealot, and it would really help him out. I like this pylon because that allows him to build a shield battery on the natural. So if a bunker goes up, he will still be able to deal with that. And it's all going to be a micro dance of Clem's Reaper up against the probes and how well they can split. Behind this, a factory is on the way. He's pulled 3 workers off gas, which tells us Clem is going to go into a command center. And here we go. Reaper's already jumping into that main base. Barracks floating home. And that Stalker getting chrono boosted. Stalker does shut down the Reaper. But here we go. He's got to pull back those probes. Showtime with some good micros so far. Nice movement. But that probe is still 1 hit from death. Oh, very good micro by Showtime. I don't think he can stop himself from losing one, though. Yeah, and oh, it's circling. It's circling! Okay, good micro by Showtime. Only loses a single probe. Could have been a lot worse. And remember, it's not free. Clem has to float this barracks all the way home, which is super awkward. And does Showtime think it's worth using recall to save that probe? Looks like it's not even an option because that Nexus in the natural isn't quite ready. And that's a total of 2 probes. Not too bad for that Reaper. He's going to run home. And of course, building Widow Mines to stop any sort of counter pressure. Command Center building on the high ground and a starport already on the way. Behind this, can you believe it? Showtime's playing Stargate? Who could have ever predicted this? Definitely not me, guys. Man, Showtime is so good at just playing consistent StarCraft. What I love about watching his PvT is it feels like 90% of what he does is like just unbreakable wall. But there's always the moment when that one orc holding that barrel of explosives, the wall breaker gets in there and he charges forward and Legolas is pinning him with arrows, but he doesn't quite go down, and then bam, Helm's Deep is breached and everything falls apart really quickly. So that's always been, you know, the criticism I have of Showtime's defensive style. That combined with his predictability. The thing is, I don't even know if I can criticize Showtime for predictably going Oracle every game because he almost always gets into a good position. He so rarely dies at the start. Like, but if you go to just fast forward to 9 minutes, Showtime's almost always ahead in PvT at 9 minutes in the game. There's the occasional one where he's not. Obviously, everyone dies in PvT sometimes. But I actually think he's looking the most rock solid against all the 2-base timings out of all the Protoss players. And I'm really impressed every time I watch his play. Now, he's going to go quick Robo and 4 gases behind this. He's only got 2 Stalkers in the depth to block the Widow Mine drop, though. Oh, I don't know, man. There's nothing to block the Oracle except this Viking. And it's going to pop just barely in time. Here we go. Uh-oh. Widow Mine drop in the main base. Showtime needs a spectacular response to make sure this does not do big damage. And look at that, already 2 Stalkers in the depth going to go after it, but there we go, Widow Mine's fire. Oh, it doesn't even get the worker on gas. Widow Mine going in the natural, trying to outpace him though, and it did get 7 workers on the natural. Showtime 2 focused on the main base. The unburrow in the main for Clem, brilliant there, it distracts his opponent, and he gets the big boomy. Oracle's just hiding in the top, looks like that did not end up committing. Phoenix will chase this off. 8 probes is pretty devastating damage this early because this was an expand build for Clem. I mean, it was a delayed expand, but it was still an expand. And the fact that he's now into 3 barracks without building a single tank, just 1 Cyclone, 1 Viking, Clem's build order counters Showtime's build order. Even if he defended without taking any probe losses, the fact that he's going so quickly into Stim and Shields is big. But Showtime finds a bit of damage for himself. 2 probes. He's going to lose the Oracle, though. That's a bit too deep, mate. Oracle goes down there in the main base. The Stalker's going to come in with this Adept. He's got to pick something off, but he can't lose these units. Showtime's looking for anything. He's not finding much. Robo Bay is on the way. Only up 2 workers right now. You want to be up usually about 8 workers in this matchup. And oh, he's going to go for the chase. But Showtime's Phoenix will punish that. Saves the Stalker with the lift. Oh, you don't want to lose the Phoenix though. Oh, man. This is really painful for Showtime. It feels like Clem's just all over him, winning these early game trades. Stim is almost finished. Shields is almost finished. Marauder production has started. The first medevac is already still on the field from the early game. He's now going to build 2 more medevacs with his +1 weapons. And what are you doing? You're getting Phoenix and Immortal one at a time? Those will not defend against this. The Phoenix are just going to stop the drop. It feels to me like Showtime is playing from an impossible situation, but I believe in his power as a player. I know that Showtime is the one guy who makes these miraculous holds happen pretty regularly. It's game 1 of the series. It's not a good position to be in, but he's always got that shot. Colossus will be chrono boosted. There you go. The moment that starts up, he's dropping these chronos into it, and I imagine every chrono he's got from now on is either Colossus or the extended Thermal Lance, which starts up. No Forge, no Twilight, only 2 gateways. I think a single sentry for Guardian Shield could be helpful. Great catch for Clem. He scans the Observer, takes it out. Showtime's vision. Let's go to his camera, guys. He is blind. Phoenix in the bottom right, Pylon in the top left, and he sees very little of the map other than that. Can't even afford a sentry right now. Oh my lord. 4 Marauders and 20 Marines coming across this map. Cyclone, a Viking, a couple of other units as well. Shield battery trying to build. First Colossus is out, second one is being chrono boosted. But still, only 2 gateways and just Phoenix and a couple of these technical units. Oh my lord, the battery's not ready. The third base is exposed. He can't give up the third. He simply cannot. The Phoenix joining in for the fight, picks up the Marauders, but the Colossus gets focused down. And without the battery finishing, Clem finds the window for the finish and just takes a really solid opening win. All right, guys, down in the bottom right side, we've got Team Liquid's Clem. And he's going to be sending an SCV out to hide a barracks in the third base, I imagine, something like that. So he's not early enough for a deep proxy. Showtime in the top left, going to go Gateway Scout, as he tends to. And, oh, okay, we're hiding the barracks over here, so it's like a semi-proxy. Just a half-chubbed. Not all the way to his opponent's natural, but halfway there. And he's going to be double gas. I mean, that makes sense. Very rare. Single gas with the barracks on the map is very odd, because single gas means command center almost always, and command center without a barracks at home to defend it is always going to be a conundrum. Trying to get a bit of an overreaction potentially, but I think Showtime was okay with his early Reaper D. Yeah, he lost a lot of mining time. I think losing the probe on the map was probably more of a mistake. He should have sent that off to a corner and then recalled it. Should be going Cybercore then Nexus, so he pulls 2 probes. One builds Cybercore, and one will be building the Nexus in a moment. He's seen the double gas. He sees no barracks at home. And similar response, but oh, it's Marine? What? Clem's going all in, baby. He pulls a worker off gas. Clem's going, if not all in, incredibly committed on the aggression. The question, is it a reactor though? Or is he going, no, it has to be a reactor. There's no other option. Because even if it's a tank push, you still need reactor Marines to support that. But it's most likely Hellions, I would imagine. The question is, does he proxy a starport as well and drop Hellions? Marine comes back. Showtime sees it, and he sees the direction that came from. He should loop around and check for this. Notice the probe is already, yep, beautiful. Beautiful scout here by Showtime. Showtime is a smart man. He can put 2 and 2 together. And I wonder what his response is to this. Oh, so early. Block it, block it. You can't land this. Look at that. If he lifts the barracks, he'll put a pylon down there, guys. Oh my god, Clem has to build 2 Marines now. Get wrecked. The probe giving the middle finger to him and says, nah, I just messed your build up. Nice move by Showtime. Very, very slick play. A single probe really ruining Clem's plans here. And now there's a Stalker as well. Stalker can do very well versus 3 Marines. But this is actually a good proxy spot because there's high ground on every single direction. So you actually always have that high ground advantage. Not bad, not bad. So he's now building a medevac Marines and a Hellion. And he's thinking about building just more depots at home. Wow. Showtime is building a Stargate still. So in this scenario, you might be tempted to go Phoenix. It's actually better to go Oracle and just use the laser to defend. in my opinion. Now, obviously, I'm not a super expert. I would be very confused about exactly what to do, but I really do feel Oracle's the best play. Defensive Oracle, let's see what he chooses. No, he's going to go Phoenix. They will put a timer on the medevac, and there is an armory behind it, so it's going to be a swap over into double armory Widowmine. Oh, so it's 2 Hellions plus 7 Marines in a drop hitting super early. The battery should be able to save a lot of units here. 1 Stalker and 2 Adepts and 1 Phoenix around the map. Another Adept is about to pop. Great positioning by Showtime. He's out in front ready to greet this. And that's the Phoenix, man. You got to be careful. So he sees it, gets on out of there for now, does Clem. Phoenix gets a few extra shots off and pulls back. Really well done. Probe may have seen that barracks floating over. Not sure if it did or not. It's going to go back and build a reactor inside the base, trying to get towards some semblance of normal production. Remember, this is 1 base versus 2. As long as Showtime keeps making units, he'll be good. He's making a 2nd gateway, a 3rd gateway. He's pumping Phoenix. His warp gate's super duper late. With this build order, though, where's the medevac, guys? Oh, he's sending the medevac home, the wounded one, while keeping... Oh, he's got 1 there. Okay. Wounded medevac's going to go. He's going to get Widowmine drop both bases at once. How can Showtime defend this? Well, 3 Adepts and a Stalker can kill Widowmines as they burrow, right? He can kill 1 of them. He can kill 1. He gets 1 of them. Very nicely done. Problem, no detection. And no ability to produce detection other than Oracles. The Armory Widowmines are there. He's going to have to start Oracles. He's got 4 Phoenix in the main. And he has them on a control group. Of course he does, because he's Showtime and he's so organized. And that's going to be an easy cleanup. Picks up 1 Widowmine. Picks up 2 Widowmines. Nice defense, guys. He's lost 1 probe. He's at double the worker count. He's got a good knowledge of the timing as well. Look at that. Look at that. He's like, yeah, that's going to fire any second now. Look how good a pro game is at just remembering timings, man. Oh, here comes more, though. Here comes more. The Adepts blocking each other. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. But, oh, they're all clumped. 2 more probes go down. But what are you going to do? Pick up? Guess what? The Phoenix are here. Nuh-uh, mate. Oh, this is so bad for Clem. Clem is getting slapped down. Showtime says, what are you trying to do? What are you trying to do? This build order is like literally when the army shows up at Helm's Deep. They want to break the wall. They want to break Demour. And he's like, wait, you forgot to bring regular soldiers? All you brought is an army of guys with explosive barrels? You idiot! And Legolas and all those elven archers are raining down arrows. Gimli and bloody Aragorn and all the rest are charging out front. They're literally chopping them up before they get anywhere near the walls. And Clem's realizing that the big boom boom strategy that he went for did not work out. He has been absolutely crushed, and now he's in a desperate position. The Widowmine's getting revealed, getting picked up. The Stalkers and Phoenix coming in for the finish. Showtime looking large and in charge, and he says this wall is made of sterner stuff than you were expecting. The Oracle will get focused down, but the medevac's gone. The Phoenix pick up the Marines, and Clem has to tap out. All right, guys, going into game number 3. Clem's going to go for a reactor first here. Team Liquid's Clem. He did not scout. Blind opening, reactor first. 3 racks is pretty popular on this map because the bases are quite spread out. It's kind of dangerous, though, as well on this map because it takes a long time to get across the map. In Showtime, surprise, surprise, we're going Nexus after the Cybercore, 2nd Pylon, and 2nd Gas, and then a Stargate, almost certain to follow it up. He's the king of the Oracle. He gives me a lot of faith. I love opening Oracle in this matchup. And Showtime just reminds me very well of like when to commit, when not to commit, and how if you don't throw your Oracle away, it is one of the most reliable openings in PvT. It's just when you start getting overeager and throwing your Oracle into Widowmines or Cyclones that you kind of end up in a lot of trouble. It's a unit that forces a response. It's an opening that gives vision and forces a response. And that's really what an Oracle opening is all about. It's not about doing big damage. Obviously, if the opportunity is there, yes, you want to take advantage. Ooh, 1 near point probe gives the middle finger as it runs away. Very nice. All right, we got the factory on the way, the 2nd Gas. Reaper in a Marine building, so he's going to go for the delayed Reaper Scout. Interesting. I kind of feel like that's a mistake, but I don't know. It's not a super well-timed factory either, so this is more of a standard defensive play for Clem. Probe still hanging outside the base. Now, you might be wondering, why is the probe there? The reason is, off a reactor first, they can push with super early, like 6 Marines, and ruin your day. So you need to be able to see if those 6 Marines come out, or even 4 Marines, and then they can swap a factory over and do 2 Hellions with it. And if you don't have a shield battery, you can just die. So as much as Oracle mostly defends those builds, it's something you want to see coming. Now that Reaper's going to run in a moment, guys. And the Oracle's going to have to come back and use its energy to defend it. So, you know, if it gets a probe, or even two, and forces the Oracle to come back here and not be aggressive, gives him time to get a Cyclone, that's pretty slick. He's going to get a second one if he goes for it. Oh, I think he could have stutter stepped and got that maybe. But one probe slows the Oracle down. Second Oracle's on the way. So Showtime's build, he likes to go second Oracle, second and third Gateway then. There we go, second and third Gateway. Actually, only second Gateway this game. It's a big map, so maybe wants to be a bit greedier. And then we often see Robo and 4 gases into the third base. Delaying his Twilight and Forge is Showtime's middle name. Robo and Stargate tech, really big, powerful tech units, but he doesn't get the upgrades that make his Gateway units good for a long time. And oh, Clem is all over it, man. Catches the Oracle there, shoos it into the Marines. Marines catch it, capitalize. Medevac's coming out, as is a Cyclone. He's going to build a shield battery right now. Third Gateway goes down. Showtime, no doubt, regretting not putting that third Gateway down earlier. He also needs a pylon right now. If he doesn't build a pylon, he could be in big doo-doo. He's only got 6 supply free, which is 3 Gateway units. As another probe queues up, that means he can only make 2 more Gateway units. But I guess he is going to be losing units during this fight, so... Nah, with the shield battery, Clem can't push in, actually. It'd be kind of crazy to do that. Oh, don't lose anything on the... Oh, he's going to lose some hit points. Ow, 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 ow. That's unfortunate. Oracle down to 60 out of 100 hit points. Marines in the Cyclone's going to try and bait him out here. I think this would be a mistake for Showtime to fight it, but I could be wrong. Oh, this is looking good for Clem. Yeah, look at that, man. Oh, Clem. Oh, he's all over it. He's going to get an Adept and a Stalker for nothing. Bit of hit points off his Cyclone, bit of paint off it. That doesn't cost him nothing, man. He's going up to 4 barracks, soon to be 5 barracks all in behind this. No doubt Clem a little bit frantic with his macro, as that 4th barracks is way earlier than you need it to ever be. Definitely got his build a little out of order. Oh, Cyclone, watch out. Oh, the Cyclones are good. The Phoenix has finally picked them up. Showtime needs a crushing engage, but he loses all of his Phoenix. Notice Clem focuses down all the Stargate units. And even though he does get trapped here, like obviously he wanted to pick up and get out, he's not able to do that, but he kills so many valuable units. It's an amazing trade for Clem, who's already well on his way to his next step. And he says, cool, 2 base versus 2 base. My stim and shields is halfway done. I'm building bio medevac. Like, it's massive advantage for me. Did he actually intend to go 4 barracks? I'd love to hear an argument for it if anyone believes. Normally you'd go 3 barracks, engineering bay, then 4th and 5th barracks. It just times out better usually, but he actually seems to be keeping up his production pretty well. So and he's cut at 45 SCVs exactly. It does feel like a 2 base all in. The SCVs are fake. I think he's going to pull the boys. I think he's going to pull the boys at 7 minutes on the dot. He does start the 3rd command center, so maybe not a complete fake. But, oh, he picks up and the Phoenix is like, hello? Did you want to drop me? Hello? The medevac's going to continue anyway. He's like, well, you'd never expect me to continue on the drop path that I just showed you, right? Phoenix says, well, let's at least get some damage on this medevac ahead of time. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but a little is better than none. There's an Immortal, a couple of Gateway units out, going up to 5 Gateways right now. A Phoenix, Colossus, and just Gateway units. Now, those Gateway units have no Twilight upgrades, no Forge upgrades. They're not going to be fantastic for Showtime. Ah, ouchies. Ouchies, ouchies, ouchies. Clem's looking large and in charge. Is he going to get another quick finish? Is he going to get another quick finish right now? For those who don't know, this is the grand finals of EU week number 170. I don't know if I told you guys in the intro to this video. This is a grand finals. It's a best of 5 match. Oh, battery overcharge. Yeah, battery overcharge is a little late, man. Oh my god, he waits to the last second. The Phoenix are trying to drag the Widow Mines. Good drag into the middle of the bio, but all the Phoenix go down, and you've given up your mobility. If Clem disengages, it's still a win for him. Maybe not a massive victory because like the Nexus survived, but he's killed all the Phoenix. And this forces you to basically give up on Phoenix production and go back to Blink. Showtime, though, is the one weird Protoss player who's so good at managing multiple units. He's happy to just rebuild the Phoenix. He's like, no, I'll just, even if I've got 2 Phoenix, I'll still find a use for them. 3 Phoenix, I will still use them. And he's just going to work his way up in that direction. 5th barracks going down right now. No, 2nd stop. What he's playing? Okay, 5th barracks is up on the natural with the tech lab. So he does have 3 tech labs, 2 reactors. 2nd stop. What he's going to go for a Viking timing attack to try and wipe Showtime off the map. Charge is almost finished. There's still no Forge even started. The Vikings push the Phoenix back. 2 Stalkers, 2 Phoenix, and a shield battery. Ah, man. I feel like Showtime's trying to defend all these angles with dregs. It's not a big army for him. It's not a good army for him, but the supply is close enough that I definitely give him a chance of getting back in here. Clem's going to go ghosts. So here's the way this timing works, guys. You make 3 ghosts out of the 3 barracks. And then you basically go with about 12 Vikings, 3 ghosts. You EMP all the Zealots and Archons. The Vikings eliminate the Colossus in the blink of an eye. And your Marine Marauder just rolls over the top. Now, he's adding gases and depots, so Clem's not, like, super all in on this move by any means. But the fact that there's no 2nd Engineering Bay and Armory started just yet, the fact that there's no 4th Command Center, definitely indicates he would like to lean into that 3 ghost timing. And I really feel when those 3 ghosts come out, he's going to really force a big fight. Showtime's going to have his work cut out for him. He started to build some balls, as well as a double forge. First disruptor's out. He starts a second one. If he can get to 4 disruptors before this hits, I think he might be okay. But those ghosts are about to pop and move across this map. And that's going to be a very, very tall ask for Showtime to hang on. The Zealots will get evaporated by the EMP and the big bio ball. Colossus will get just, yeah, basically blinked out of existence by the Vikings. I think in these scenarios, when you're on the back foot as Protoss, you really should stop at 2 Colossus and swap into Disruptors. Showtime never does that. He's incredibly predictable in that regard. But if he's already swapped into Disruptors 1 Colossus earlier, going 10-12 Vikings is almost an overcommitment, right? Showtime's already diversifying, going in another direction. I know 3 Colossus is kind of the magic number to have that critical amount of splash damage, but definitely a big issue. Bio Viking moving in the left side of the map. They're going to find some pylons. Much better to lose pylons than to lose the game. Showtime's got Blink about halfway done. He's building a lot more pylons. Still only 1 Robo. The second Robo's just started. 2 Disruptors are out. Third one is almost on the field. No SCV pool. Clem's taking a 4th. Clem's making 8 barracks. He's making an armory and a 2nd engineering base, so he's wanting to go to the next stage of the game, but it feels almost like an afterthought, and he really is letting Showtime survive and build a good army. Don't get me wrong, Clem's ahead in pretty much every regard, but I feel like he was on the cusp of victory earlier. I feel like he was in a very strong leading position, and now it feels like he's waiting for Showtime to make a mistake. Showtime has not made that mistake just yet. Been very relaxed with his defense. Colossus, you gotta watch those Colossus. Oh, he just threw 2 disruptors. Showtime! Massive panic disruptor shot. You cannot throw those disruptor shots that early. Oh, he's gonna pull the Phoenix over. The Stalker's actually got some really good shots off. He hasn't used... Oh, he's used his battery overcharge up though. Uh-oh, the Phoenix do take a few of these volleys. The Zealots and the Colossus actually roasting. He loses the Nexus, but as long as he pulls the Colossus back, don't throw the Colossus away. And Blink even gets another Viking. That was a good fight for Showtime, guys. That was the best fight he's taken this game. He's getting close to units lost, even. Which is still not good overall for Protoss, but it seems to be good enough in this scenario. He can rebuild the Nexus. He's got a new base going up on the left side. He's got 1 upgrade's about to kick in, so that was at a double upgrade disadvantage. Now the upgrades are going to be even for the next minute. After that minute's up, Clem will return to 2-2 versus 1-1. Supply is dangerously close for both players. 6 disruptors now out. Remember the magic saying those European Protoss players said, if you don't have more than 8 disruptors, Clem will never get hit. But oh my god, Showtime's being really decisive. He saw a big army in the left. He's decided to defend his natural with Zealot disruptor production and instead commit to the push. But he should realize at this point, where is that army? That army's not coming. He's coming back to flank you. He's coming back to flank you, Showtime. Be careful. Showtime should know this is coming. Disruptors are going to stop the flank. Oh, but his disruptors are out in the open. His army should turn around there. I mean, he gets a few decent disruptor shots, but he's losing a lot of them, and his army is moving really awkwardly. Oh no, Showtime, all of his disruptors getting exposed up front, and this was a really bad fight for Showtime. He could have turned around earlier, and he also could have, once he realized, used his disruptors a lot better. His ground army should have turned to fight with the disruptors. Instead, he let them all get picked apart, separate to his army. Clem winning the game. Showtime held on so well. But Clem was just a bit too good there at the end. All right, guys. Down here in the bottom right side, 1 game away from sealing the dealio. Doing a 3 racks build, I believe, since he's pulled off gas here. Clem. So he's going for a Marine, pulling off gas into a reactor. Yeah, I think this is 3 racks. Interesting. Showtime in the top left side doing a very standard opening, except for the fact that right when I criticize him for being predictable and doing the same thing every game, changes it up, skips the scout. Says, yeah, I'm just not going to scout this game. So he has a little bit of a kickstart, a bit more minerals, and he's going to go sentry first to make up for that lack of scouting. He's going to get an early hallucination. Really cute. And that's awesome for him because there's no Reaper, nothing like that, nothing to cause him trouble. And here we go. Clem's starting to put back. Oh, it's 3 command center, isn't it? Sorry, guys. I forgot. It's 3 command center into 3 barracks, this build order. Yes, so it is a 3 barracks, but only after 3 command centers. 3 command centers, 3 barracks, and he's about to have 3 marines. 3 command centers, 3 barracks, and he's about to have 3 marines. Clem going for the 3 marine, 3 command center, 3 barracks build, but only for 39 hours. I don't even know what we're talking about. Sorry, guys. Any Aussies might remember that 40 Winks 40-hour sale ad they used to spam on TV. There's like a bed shop called 40 Winks in Australia, and there's this really catchy ad they used to play, and just it felt like every other week was their special 40-hour sale, and it was just them shouting 40% off, but only for 40 hours, 40-hour sale, 40 hours. It was like, it's just like one of those really obnoxious ads that gets wedged deep in your brain. For some reason, the 3 command centers into 3 barracks seem to have triggered that memory. Anyways, Phoenix is going to come on in. We've got large mattresses, small mattresses, medium mattresses. Twitch chat's going off right now. I love it. Looks like only 2 barracks for now. Interesting. That hallucination scout is so key for Showtime, though. So normally he'd be going 2nd and 3rd gateway here. Instead, he's like, oh, I can just build a nexus. But there is a cute little marine pressure coming. I think 2 adepts, a sentry, and an oracle feast on these boys for breakfast. If Clem commits to this, he's in big doo-doo. And the fact that he's going factory, I mean, this is a very fragile build. Clem's like, oh, you went sentry, you don't have many gateway units, you're going to be really vulnerable. This is the last thing you'll expect, because he kills the hallucination and then surprises him. But the oracle says, no, you gotta get out of here, Clem. Clem needs to leave right now. He gets a probe. Oh, sentry needs to pull back, sentry needs to pull back. No, he doesn't, because he's focusing the oracle. Oh man, 1 adept for 9 marines, or 7 marines. Yeah, I got a probe as well, but still, that's really bad, because he has no units. This is already a super greedy build. Protoss is a little bit more flexible than Terran, so losing units like that is a big issue for Clem. Clem, even when he's doing the greediest build in the book, he still gets aggressive because he's Clem, and it's not just a meme. This man doesn't know how to do anything other than attack. Clem's specialty is stabbing. He is not a man who blocks the other man's stabs. He simply stabs more viciously, faster, and harder than the other guy, and that guy's gonna, you know, basically go unconscious first. That's how Clem defends, by killing his opponent faster than he can kill him. And sometimes it backfires, and I think this game is one of them. I do expect Double Forge and Robobay out of Showtime. Notice he's already got 4 gases. He's chronoing probes like mad. He's going to have that 3rd saturated so early. Single Forge Twilight to start. I mean, it's a lot of tech at once. I guess you can't afford Double Forge just yet. 3rd barracks is going. You can't block stabs, says Twitch chat. Well, I mean, what if you have a shield? I mean, in a street situation when someone comes up, I mean, that's also easy. If I'm walking down the street, someone attacks me with a knife. I've watched all of the Detroit self-defense videos, guys. I know it's pretty easy. If you come with a gun, I just take it out of your hand. It's quite straightforward. I mean, if you guys haven't watched those videos, go watch them, educate yourself, and remember there is no situation, including guns and knives, that you can't defend simply by taking the weapon out of their hands. It's really simple if you think about it, idiots. Oh, I love those videos so much. It's even funny that it's in Detroit as well, where it's like you're actually I'm like this is a city where if you go to the wrong neighborhoods, there's many places you can encounter these situations. He's like, so you're driving your car and you're stopped at the light and a guy comes up and sticks a gun in the window and you're like, what? Where are you dealing with this situation? Oh my god. Not in Somalia, man. Anyways, 5 gateways are on the way, as well as a robo single forge. Seems like a good balance. Ooh, that's unfortunate. Loses the Oracle. Oracle is a really good unit because he's got 2 observers. It's not bad. I like that he's still building Phoenix one at a time. This is Showtime's specialty in this matchup, is building kind of late Phoenix one at a time and using a small to medium number of Phoenix exceptionally well to dissuade the Terran from dropping. I think this is what always fascinates me about his play, is I always felt like you need to go Phoenix early and you need to like really start doing damage and shutting things down. And then past a certain point, it's too late to rebuild the number up. If you don't have enough Phoenix, it's too late. You're just going to mismanage them and lose them in a fight. But Showtime very regularly keeps them alive, uses them to sacrifice by dragging Widow Mines into friendly fire. All sorts of good moves from him available. Alright, here we go. On the street, I simply pull out my hoplite shield. Okay, sorry guys, I'll cast the game when Twitch chat's too funny today. Zealots are coming in as well. We got the bio moving in. I like this mature choice. Just cancel that base. Zealot run by gonna just deny a little bit. Pick off the Widow Mine, run away. Nice Marauder concussive shell. He's gonna get one of those Zealots. He realizes that the bio army will trap him by moving down this left side, so he just recalls those Zealots. Good save by Showtime, but you have to be aware of it. Something I really suck at and struggle with, Protoss, is I don't keep track of my recall timer. So I'll use it for something like that, which in of itself is a good move. But then I'll move out of position with my army, get dropped, and have no answer to it. And that's something you gotta be very careful of. Still just 5 gateway production, but 5 gates, a Stargate building Phoenix, and a Robo building Colossus is a lot. Observer sees the pickup. Clem does not know about that Observer. Oh no. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, don't show it too early, Showtime. Okay, Showtime's going to show it too early. Rather than prioritizing there being no way out, he does just prioritize it not getting in the main. I probably would have tried to hide the Phoenix, wait for him to be up here, and then try to get on top of him, but Showtime didn't want to take the risk. Despite that, he does let an army get by on the south. He's going to take a fair bit of probe damage. If he loses one of these bases, that's a big problem. There's a Colossus on the north, the Phoenix come in to help out. Looks like the Zealots pushed back and back on the south, but he's losing a lot of Zealots. Clem's taking an amazing fight on 2 sides, guys. Look at the units lost. He got 6 probes, a lot of Zealots, didn't lose much bio, and he's keeping Showtime locked in on just 3 bases worth of workers. Finally, Showtime starts 66 to go above 66 workers, probing up that 4th base. He's got +2, he's got Blink, but the Ghosts are hitting the field, man. There's already a 4th command center finish. Clem played super greedy as well. They're both going to a big macro game here. It's still at that explosive stage, pre-maxed out, where they don't have all the infrastructure, where it's not just about who's the better late game player. Like, there are small momentum shifts in the tech. Right now, there's 3 Colossus, there's only 6 Vikings. He really needs to keep up that Viking production, does Clem. He's building a 2nd starport. Interesting. Feels like it's a bit too late to really prioritize that. I feel like just getting up to 10 Vikings off the 1 starport should be fine. Doesn't cost him too much when you're on 4 bases though. Here we go, nice move with the army moving around the top. Zealots are going to try to run in the base. The triple Widow Mine is ready to defend it somewhat. And it looks like turrets being built on the bottom to try and stop the Zealots getting in the main base. 2nd Forge finally coming in, so he's going to be able to start armor upgrades as well. And finally going from 6 to 8 gateways. Showtime playing on a medium gateway count for a really long time, and prioritizing the tech units. And him and Estrella are probably the best players at not just blindly building 8 gateways every game. So many Protoss players like, I need 10 gateways. And then they like die to a timing, and you're like, if you just built 6 gateways and warped in constantly, you'd be able to spend your money. And that's, you know, like a Terran does. It's like efficiency. But as Protoss players, sometimes we get addicted to the flexibility of having a high gateway count and we get punished for it. Nice defense here by Clem. Zealot drop doesn't really find much damage. At least they trade for a few Marines, actually. +2 Zealots, not too bad. Dude, if he kills that Marauder. Oh! Big juicy disruptor shot. Stalker's trying to punish the Vikings, but there's not many of them. Only 4 Stalkers. Warps in 7 more of them. Colossus does take heavy damage. Actually, one of the Colossus did fall even. That Zealot did survive. It beat the Marauder in the main. A Viking had to land to deal with it. More Zealots coming in the south. Sensor towers are up all over the place. Clem has got a 5th base on the way, as well as a 6th. The Widow Mines clean up the Zealots on the south. Nexus gets cancelled in the north. Showtime, it feels, is a little behind in this late game brawl. He's got the Dark Shrine on the way, though, so he is focusing on those next steps. But establishing a 5th base and controlling the large packs of bio roaming the map seem to be a very difficult prospect. 11 Vikings, a little too many for Clem. However, that means it's more than enough to shut down the Phoenix. 2 Phoenix fall there. But Bio Army coming down this. It's actually mostly Vikings on the bottom. Stalkers came forward. They take it. Oh, a lot of Stalkers die. I think they only got 1 or 2 Vikings at most. There's still 10 Vikings in this guy. Disruptors throwing those shots out. I sense a little bit of fear with the way Showtime throws his Disruptors. I know you want to throw them early so they don't get focused down. Sometimes a little too early, though. Is this enough for Showtime? He's going for it. Force fields! Trapping a lot of Marauders and Ghosts at the front of that. Clem saves a few of them with a medevac, but he's stuck in a fighting retreat, and there's more balls. Where that came from? Showtime says, that's right, mate. When you're drinking beer and eating bread and pretzels all day, that's what it looks like. Dude, he just dropped that currywurst all over Clem's face, and Clem is not happy about it. Clem did take some big hits, but at the end of the day, you cleared the Colossus, you cleared a lot of other units as well. 2 Disruptors went down. There's still a good Disruptor count up. Units lost tab overall is favoring Clem. He's got a 5th base in the top right, but a 5th and a 6th base building for Showtime. Showtime, if he can get one big wave of DTs in, it'll turn this game around. One big wave of DTs would be a game changer. Right now, this army is fragile as PP, guys. This army, I mean, yeah, it's you don't need to be a religious figure to part the red Protoss in this scenario. It's a bunch of Stalkers and Sentries that do piss all damage for their cost. It's all about the Disruptors. It is not a very powerful army. There's very few Zealots in the mix. There's no Colossus, no Immortals. So Showtime, he cannot afford to lose these Disruptors or it just gets destroyed. But so far, he's doing a good job of dancing back and forth, and he's got 5 Dark Templar out, hiding in the north. I think he wants to wait until he's got about 12, and then show them all at once. The first wave of DTs is always the most effective. Clem is wide open to it. Not on the bottom. He's got 3 Widow Mines, which shut down any sort of harass. He's also got Landed Viking. He's actually really defended. It's not like Vikings are the best first Dark Templar, but even if you go in there with like 8 Dark Templar, they'll get wrecked by that. Oh, he's killing his own Vikings with the Planetary to clear up supply because there's no Colossus left. That's cute, man. I don't know where those 2 SCVs, 3 SCVs went down. Looks like there is maybe DTs warping in. Oh no, he's killing his own SCVs with planetaries as well. Zealots run in, they're gonna help out. He says, oh, I can kill SCVs too. Clem actually just wants more army supply to build range libs with. He's got lib harass coming in. Advanced ballistics did kick in just now. Phoenix cleaned up the lib in the bottom left. In the top right, he comes in, he scans. So the Liberator decides to attack an Observer, which is one of the funniest interactions I've ever seen. DTs run in, one of them dies to the Planetary Fortress. Liberator tries to resiege, denying a single mineral patch. Nice moves there. Prism in the bottom of the map does get picked up by Clem's army. Showtime forced to pull it back. Phoenix clean up the last Liberator. Dudes, this is a real dance between gods of the game. Where are the Disruptors? They're not on the south. Oh my, the DT is running in the guts. Up the guts. The Stalker Disruptor is going to try and take out the bottom base. We're going to trade a few of these exterior bases. DTs take out Clem's 4th. Stalker Disruptor will take out the northern base as well. Disruptor's getting the repairing SCVs. What's he got at home though? Showtime has nothing at home. He's got to be making Disruptors right now, or he's got a recall. He cannot be engaging in this scenario. He also should be trickling DTs into that army. DTs are actually annihilating the workers on this base. That's a big mistake. I thought this base and the bottom base were going to be safe, but Clem just lost 37 workers. Big mistake for Clem in the midst of all this. Clem's bringing his army home right now. Oh my, I actually think the base trade would have favored Clem here. He's choosing to pull back. He's got a 3rd starport with a reactor, by the way. He can mass Liberator. He's got to be really careful. He doesn't have many of those libs up just yet. Only 5 on the map. The Bio Army coming in, and Showtime calmly steps backwards. He knows he's done big damage, and he's like, yeah, no need to force the issue, mate. Let's just chill. He should be remaxing on DTs. He's got 12 of them over here. So he's going to go in and just keep denying these bases when they get taken. I'd love to see Showtime rotate his main army to the bottom left side, attack this base with Stalker Disruptor. DTs keep hitting here and here. Clem, what can he do? Leaving a Liberator is a good idea. That's a lot of DTs. He doesn't see him. Oh my god, the Blurry Boys. The Blurry Boys. Does Clem see it? If Clem sees it, he can scare to kill it. Oh no, Showtime actually getting big damage though. Showtime, he's blinking on top. Goes for the YOLO engage. Very unlike Showtime to do that. He pays a hefty price. 12 Dark Templar going down. Units lost tab is in favor of Clem, but map control, forward position, massively favors the Protoss with these Disruptors. He's setting up a shooting gallery for himself. Zealot's going to defend with the battery cannon in the top side, especially with the Phoenix there. Notice how Showtime groups those units together. Really nicely done. I love that move. And I would have clumped the control groups together. Showtime is still managing 6 different army control groups right now. This man is a legend, using the core like a beast. Disruptor shots landing on the Marines, Marauders, trying to take those down. Phoenix do go in. A few of those fall. The Zealot's still looking for an opening. That natural is wide open. If there's one opening that just needs to be a targeting point, it's got to be the natural. The other bases have planetaries and libs on them. But if he can keep sneaking Zealots and DTs up into the guts of the production, that's, I think, where Clem is weakest, especially whenever his army gets out on the periphery of the map. Whenever he gets out to these extreme edges, he is open behind it. But Showtime, unlike Hero, who would just go win the game right now, he's going to try and go Tempests, because that's what Showtime likes to do. He likes to have the range advantage to force his opponent to take bad fights. He's only got 5 Disruptors, but he has 30 Zealots! 30 Zealots coming in with mass. Stalker. Showtime has the numbers advantage. He hasn't used a single Disruptor shot. He's just so far out on supply. He's doing a big just YOLO on the front. He gets an amazing fight. Just way too many units there. And of course, almost similar upgrades. 3-2-1 versus 3-3. And that just is too much damage, I think. Clem's down to equal army supply. Slightly less, in fact. Stalkers aren't good versus Marauders and Marines. but we're out of energy, and those Stalkers can chase, those Disruptors can chase. Showtime with a splendid game 4 to tie up the series. All right, guys, going into game 5 to decide it. Let's see if the wall can stand tall. I've seen him lose so many close series recently, and as someone who actually doesn't know the outcome of this match, I've probably seen it at some point, but then I've forgotten it, thankfully, because I cast and watch so many StarCraft games. I hope he wins. I love Clem as well, and you know, I like Clem. He's cool guy. I want to see him do well, but I want to see Showtime kill Terran players. I feel like he's always setting himself up for victories, but there's games like Altitude earlier in this series where he moves across the map and just kind of gets jumped on and it all falls apart, or he accidentally move commands into their army. I see those too many times. It just makes me feel like there's a lot of these like near misses for Showtime where I can't help but feel like, come on, he does so much to put himself in good positions. I want to see him be able to finish it in a series. And I think Clem's a good match for him to do that, because we've seen guys like, I think it was Beyond, played a crazy greedy 3 command center build and like denied his scouting in their game 5 in Pigfest. I'm probably like misremembering this series, but anyway, there's been a lot of times I've seen people catch him off guard with a really good surprise counter build where they like counter knowing he's going to go Oracle, and they like set the Widow Mine up in the perfect positioning because they know where it's going to come from. And, you know, it just feels like they kind of take some gambles to get ahead and just crush him after a really hard fought series. So I'm hoping with Clem, who's a bit more predictable, a bit less flexible as a player, like maybe not flexible is not the right word. Clem can do a lot of builds and a lot of different strategies. So he's very flexible, but he doesn't adapt to his opponents particularly well. I feel like Clem kind of just randomly throws builds out for the map. He goes, oh, this is good on this map. This is a good build against this match. You know, against Protoss on Gressfin. Oh yeah, I like this build. Whereas guys like, you know, I was talking about like Dark being very flexible to his opponent. You feel like he's really adapting to what he thinks will take his opponent out on any given day, on any given map. Rogue used to be an amazing example. Unfortunately, he's in the military right now, but Rogue had always felt was a guy who put very little time into practicing the fundamentals of the game. He was still always very good and could play a very solid macro game, but he could just study his opponent and know how to win, and win easily. And I don't think Clem ever has really shown that knowledge of like, oh, this build is clearly prepared to take advantage of this habit his opponent's doing. So it's more about how can I play a good game rather than how I can punish my opponent. And Clem's Reaper does unfortunately get shut down. He also didn't confirm that there was a Stargate, but is going Cyclone anyway. And a 3rd command center. He's playing a very greedy build here. The 3cc Cyclone build, I haven't seen that in a little while. Nice adept pressure, gets an SCV and a bunch of mining time. As the Cyclone comes down, he'll be able to chase this off. The Oracle has just left the main base for Showtime. Marines coming down. 4 Marines can take out one of these Adepts. The other Adept will no doubt fall in a moment. And it does pull back, actually. Cyclone is going to maybe get lured to the front. If it gets lured to the front, the Oracle could do something. If it uses its lock on an Adept, the Oracle can dive it. Oh, Showtime's going to go for broke, but good reaction by Clem. He pulled back quickly enough. Showtime knew he'd be too quick at repairing that Cyclone. And here we go, uses another lock-on, gives him the opportunity to get some shots off, but the Marines, too much for that Oracle, it has to fall back. 2nd Gateway, Robo, and up to 4 gases here for Showtime. He's also got a 2nd Oracle coming forwards. A 3rd command center is up and finished. Does Showtime know about that? Not really. He didn't get much vision. That's a problem. He needs to realize what he's up against in this game. It's a very economic play from his opponent. He's got a quick 3rd on the way at 4 minutes 20 anyway. And here we go. Oracles come in. They see the 3rd command center. They're going to get an SCV, make it 2, and very safe play. He actually could have got 3 or 4, but he didn't know where the Cyclone was, so Showtime plays it safe. And after losing his Oracles unceremoniously in a few of these games, I think it's really good that he's showing caution in these circumstances. Twilight Council's on the way as well. I've got those 2 engineering bays coming up. Of course, you don't want to be building missile turrets against just an Oracle or 2. Later on, we very well may see Clem do it, but he's going to have Marines popping out all game. And in the early game, you want to put that money towards your economy, your production, things that'll build up to later in the game. And if your Marines and single Cyclone defends you, no need to invest in the static D. But Robo Bay's on the way, nice. Man, I wonder if Showtime ever changes up his mid-game. Like, when was the last time any of you saw him go Storm first? Has he done that? I feel like maybe we saw him do it 1 game versus Beyond. Let me know if you guys have seen it. I'll have to go look that up, because I almost feel like it's a given that he's going to go Colossus. 90% of the time, 3 Colossus into Disruptors, into 2nd Robo, and then Dark Templar. It's kind of his favorite way to play. It is very solid. And Clem hasn't really shown anything super special to take advantage of it. Now he's tagged the Cyclone, so he knows where that is. Extra gateways are coming in. Going up to 5 gateways, the famous 5 gateways, but no Phoenix. Only a single Phoenix on the map. No more building just yet. That's very different for Showtime. I guess it's because he knows that the starport and the medevacs are late. But I still feel like, as Showtime, he loves having those units. You think he'd do it. He's going an Immortal and a bunch of sentries. And double forge and straight to 6 gas. Okay, wow, yeah, he's really skimping on the sentries, on the Phoenix this game. Very cool. Oh, extended thermal lance starts. Wait, is he going triple forge, guys? Oh, right, yeah. I think he started 2 forges, realized he already had one, and then canceled one, right? I think so. Nice tag. Very nice tag. So you see where the army's coming from. 1-1 is almost finished. I'd love to see an armory and Clem just be the rare Terran that goes straight for 2-2 upgrades. I understand why Terrans don't want to do it. They feel it's more important to get out the tech to do the damage. Second starport in this case to deal with the Phoenix Colossus. And indeed, Phoenix production starts so late in this game just to try and stop this drop angle on the bottom. Stasis trap just out of vision. This one, he doesn't see it. Just gets a Cyclone. Oh, Showtime, get out. Oracles are very slow to accelerate, guys. They're very fast once they're moving, but they're slow to accelerate, so you gotta be careful. It's got a good tag to keep vision. Second Colossus is out, and the second Robo is very quick. I like that he's getting so much tech here. He's even got a cannon blocking that right side. He's not going to bother with a cannon in the main, because he figures this is where his focus is. Main army on the front, Phoenix blocking this path. The one sneaky path where he could get surprised is down the natural on the right, but look at how many spotters he has. 3 pylons on that side. That's beautiful. The Oracles come in, clean up a Marine, and Cyclones both survive here. Really good moves. +2 attack is now on the way, as well as +2 armor for Clem. His army's backing off from the front as he just adds the rest of the production. Ghost Academy. We'll see Quad Viking production soon. And a 4th Nexus goes up, plus a gateway in the top, which he's going to use to trickle Zealots into this base. He says, why bother with a Warp Prism? Let's just go straight into the Disruptor count. Against a guy like Clem, that's a really good idea. Just use gateways to run Zealots in on the ground. Spotting Depot will see it coming, but very nice way to do it. 4th Command Center's on the way. Single Marine's going to come down. Set off the stasis trap maybe, or not. He saves himself. He says, I'd rather take the stasis than die to that Protoss army. 4th Command Center is building right now for Clem. He's got 2-2 on the way. He's been in the lead in this series. Can he finish it off? +2 armor and +2 attack. Not far behind for the Protoss player. Remember, those upgrades do take an extra 9 seconds compared to the Terran 2-2 upgrades. Chrono Boost offsets that a fair bit, though. Ooh, tag there. Does see the army. Got some units warping in the top. Just a single Zealot for now. These batteries are going to be coming up very soon. We're at 1 Disruptor, 2 more building. There's not enough Vikings to really take the Colossus out right here, but there's 4 coming across the map. When those 4 Vikings come across the map, that'll be a game changer. Single Zealot comes in for Showtime. He's got a single Zealot on the north as well. It's sitting there in refinery vision. Maybe a bit of a misclick with that Zealot. And that Zealot actually gets 2 SCVs, which is pretty nice. This one comes in and gets sniped by the Ghost. The Disruptor count grows. Dark Shrine's going to be the next order of business for Showtime, as well as the 5th base, which I think he might take up here in the center. Oracle gets a nice tag off.
Mineral field depleted.
I think that Marauder's trapped, is he? Between the Cyclone and the Marines? Looks like it. I don't think he can move from there. Doesn't look like it, but I just don't know why he wouldn't have moved when the rest of the army did otherwise. Zealots coming in on the north, going to clean up the depot. We've got an Oracle. It's going to try and harass the mineral line. Oh, great thinking for Showtime, realizing, hey, you don't have any anti-air over there. You might be good at defending Zealots, but going to get a few of these SCV kills and just pulls that away, forcing Clem to react. And there we go. Dark Shrine's on the way. He's up on 8 gateways. Make it 9, make it 10, make it 11, make it 12. Showtime getting a 5th base on the north as well. More cannons and batteries all over the place. And the armies go past each other. Clem! Oh, Clem's way out of position. Uh-oh, he did not see this army. He's just, his sensor tower wasn't quite ready. It was seconds away from finishing. He loses his 5th command center. He's gonna have to lift this command center and lose a few SCVs. Oh, big juicy disruptor shot, but he loses a Colossus for it. That's not free. That ain't free, man. Lots of Marines in the mix. 35 Marines, 11 Marauders, 9 Ghosts. And Showtime just killed his own... I don't know what that... I think it was a Disruptor? I think he just killed one of his own Disruptors, guys. Just panic A-clicked on it. He sometimes does that, where he accidentally A-clicks his own unit. Happens to everyone once in a while when they get a little bit panicky, but definitely not ideal. He's kind of trapped up here. Oh, we've seen games where he gets cornered on the enemy side of the map too much. I don't want to see it again, man. Not again, not like this. Uh-oh. Okay, that Colossus is dead. I mean, he's going to get some SCV damage, but he's got to get out of here. Fighting retreat with the Disruptors should be fine because he's not getting flanked. He's got Phoenix up there. He knows there's no flank. He's going to have to rejoin the rest of his army. He's up to Mass, Zealot, Stalker, Disruptor, 9 Disruptors, 3 3s on the way for Protoss. Only +3 attack for Clem on the Terran side of things. He's also got currently 14 Vikings that he is going to go land at his planetary fortress and kill. But he accidentally messed that up and brings that back to the front. Oh, he really... I feel like he should just fly them in and harass, surely. I think Clem's idea, his whole thought process, is he doesn't want to reveal that he's given up the Vikings, because then Protoss can go back into Colossus. So if he kills them himself, he doesn't give away that information, but brings those Vikings back to his main army, and I think that was an accident. His army does come in the bottom, cancels the Zealot warp in. That Nexus is going to get EMP'd as well, so it does lose the ability to recall. Got to be careful not to get caught down here, but there's not much mobile anti-air. No Stalkers even in the main base. The Phoenix are going to slow this down. You can only warp in a few Zealots and Dark Templar at a time in the main base. Only one DT finishes warping in there. A few more trying to warp in. And Clem says, free kills. Zealots in the north are going to distract Clem. Clem's now spotted the gateway, but he does get pulled back for those Zealots momentarily. Showtime's happy to take a kind of messy trade there. He just wants to get rid of this drop so he can focus on the north, where he needs his attention. His Disruptors need to win this fight. The Stalkers blink forwards, and they regret that decision immediately. Double drop rotates to the south. The Phoenix is going to go down, as well as those Zealots. And Showtime is annoyed at this drop, but he's got a single Chad in the other side of the mineral line. This guy is trying to impregnate all of these XCVs simultaneously. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Don't hate the stabber, hate the game, I guess is what you'd say there is that Zealot. The Vikings do hate him though, and they do gun him down. 14 Vikings is way too many. Clem's got to do something with these Vikings. Just go land in bases, harass. Anything right now. They are not the ideal unit. As I say it, Colossus production has actually restarted, funnily enough. You definitely don't want Colossus versus 14 Vikings, so maybe Showtime will make a doo-doo. The bio drop's going to get caught, but it actually kills enough Stalkers that I think this is not too bad for Clem, and it's a bit of a distraction. He's attacking on the other side of the map as well. It's not that much bio, though. A lot of it's Ghosts, Liberators, and landed Vikings. Is that the wrong composition for Clem to be base trading with? It might be. Then again, this is not that much Stalker Zealot either. It's mostly Disruptors. Command Center in the north needs to lift. It's not going to. You can see the Command Center hit points in the bottom right of our screen. Command Center did die. That one lifted. SCV's running away. We're going the way of the base trade. But much like the Dodo, I think Clem here is going to be a very confused looking bird with nowhere left to feed or survive. I don't know what that analogy was. He's got a double planetary. Oh my god. Balls there can hit both. Viking Marauder doing what it can. The double planetary defense. Yeah, you can see Showtime's trying to slide his balls in between the two planetaries, guys. Trying to planetary them. Oh, planetary's actually killing Disruptors. He just killed one. Oh, good Disruptor shots. Ouch. He's going to throw one to stop the flank of Bio coming down. The Bio's taking out yet another base. Dude, this could go either way, but oh, the DTs blink on top along with the Stalkers. Chases Clem back into his main base. Clem only has one mining base. Showtime still has the base in the bottom, fully mining, but Clem has a way bigger army. And remember, Bio is going to be fantastic in these scenarios. On the other hand, one orbital, two orbitals, and these command centers cannot detect. Disruptors hold off the army. The DTs blink. This base goes down. Clem has no mining. Showtime still has a base in the bottom. Clem doesn't know about it. He does. He knows about it, but he hasn't dealt with it. He wants to deal with the army. He has a bigger force. But I don't know, man. The DTs do so much damage. He should not be down here fighting with so few units. Clem trying to fight front on. He wants to grab the bull by the horns and jump on top. But Showtime is not going to let himself get ridden in this match. He is going to absolutely smash it with his Disruptors. There's not enough bio. The Vikings are still a deadweight army unit, man. These Vikings have been an absolute disaster for Clem in this game 5. And Showtime drops Trout, turns around, and turns those Vikings inside out. GG, well played. Showtime with a fantastic game 5. Clem, the Classic mistake, overbuilding Vikings. A bit unfortunate for him. I really feel he thought he'd killed those Vikings with the planetary, accidentally brought them back to the front, didn't execute the command, and that really hurt him in the rest of the game. GG, well played though. Hats off to Showtime for a very good 3-2 win. It makes me so happy as a Showtime fan to see him win one of these weekly cops.